little trouble there with Max Moran. I think her window's over here. And as I'm wandering the halls, occasionally seeing someone here, someone there, didn't recognize them, but there was one person wandering the halls that I did recognize. And you are all going to have an opportunity to see her, welcome her, and listen to all the fabulous things that she observed as she walked the halls of High Point High School. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present to you Emmy Lou Ferndale.
Wow, I can't believe I'm really back at dear old High Point High School, home of the Black Bison. You know, I never did understand why our colors were blue and white. Our stones in our rings were red. The blue goose was light blue, and we were called the Black Bison. I just never did get that. Anyway, I think I'm all set. Let's see. Manicure, check. Pedicure, check. Facelift, check. Liposuction, check. New knees, check, check. And new hip. Yep, I think that's got it. Okay, so here we are again. Man, things sure have changed around here. What's up with these stairs and these towers? I don't remember them being so steep. In fact, I'm thinking maybe elevators might be a real smart move. Oh well, gosh, wandering around these halls has brought back some really sweet memories. 50 years, seriously. Wonder if I'll recognize any of our classmates. Well, I know I'll recognize Richard Pickle Carmichael for sure. That he's our class president. You know, I hear he's had this reunion committee getting together for over 2 years to put together this weekend. Don't let that absent-minded professor act he blows fool you. He's been all over this reunion like white on rice. And his leadership is what kept the committee from spending all their time at Kepley's. Well, hello there. Who have we here? Do I know you? You look awfully familiar. Aren't you that Chica's boy? Harry, isn't it?
That's right. I'm impressed you recognize it. A few more pounds, a little less hair. I guess hearing aid will be next on my bucket list. And you, am I supposed to know you?
Careful now. I mean, we weren't BFFs or anything, but we were in a few classes together. You probably don't recognize me right off with all my several age enhancements. But I'm Emmy Lou Faircloth. Emily Ferndale, that is. I can't even remember my name. My short-term memory isn't all it used to be these days, and not only that, my short-term memory isn't all it used to be these days. Hey now, y'all don't look like the sharpest tools in the shed. Say, Harry, who are all these old people? What are they doing at our reunion anyway? But I digress. Say, don't I remember you married one of our classmates?
You remember exactly right. I married Nancy Culler.
Really? So, how's that working for you? Wasn't she that jock that hung around the gym all the time and was considered one of the guys? She never dated very much.
Hey now, careful. She was just a late bloomer. Let's not get personal. Why don't we change our focus to some different memories, like teachers, for instance?
Oh, right. Well, I was just thinking about some of them myself. Did you ever have Miss Heifel for 10th grade English? Man, I remember having nightmares over those grammar drills. They were something else. Whew. I think that's when my hair started to turn. And come to think of it, Miss Rogers certainly did her part to keep the stress level up right up there in the 11th grade, too.
Yeah, what about Flossie Shaw? You remember her? She brought new meaning to teaching algebra. Man, when you take short and combine it with a little bit of Irish, you know what you get? A yardstick to the backside. What was it she used to yell at the guys in her class?
Get up off your lumbar vertebrae and think. As I recall, that was said just before the yardstick hit the desk, right?
Yep, that's right. And then there were the coaches. Coach Simeon, you remember, we used to call him Chrome Dome. As I was playing back on that, it was pretty insensitive on our part. It seemed like he coached everything. One coach fits all. But there was a guy by the name of Green. What did he do?
I believe he was the baseball coach. Yeah, and what about all those language teachers? Let's see, there was Lush Hunter and Mabel Hill. Lordy, Latin was such a pain. Whose idea was it to teach that language anyway? And then there was Miss Moran. Now, she was something else, teaching French and Spanish. It was impossible to make 100 on one of her tests. She counted off for every little accent mark. Yes, those 3 were a trip, all right, no matter what language you speak.
They sure were. And then there were those teachers that taught the elective classes. Mr. Mann in shop, Miss Staley, everybody remembers Miss Staley in chorus, Mr. Carter in band, and Miss Price. You remember Miss Price?
I do. I remember she used to call that color girl Nancy. She'd say, Nancy, you're the best typist. Nancy wasn't that good, but she said that anyway. But what about Miss Hatch in American History Spider? We used to affectionately call her. Miss Roberts in chemistry, or Eleanor Young in English classics, one and all.
Even though our short-term memories are getting shorter, it seems like our old high school memories are really pretty clear. Remember when we could enter the school without going through a metal detector?
Yeah, or when 7 or 8 of us would pile into someone's car at lunch and head to Kepler's or Setzer's, anywhere but the cafeteria.
And we had those sock hops and proms in the gym.
Speaking of gym, remember when ring tennis was a team sport for the girls? Talk about a good way to break a nail.
By the way, what was up with those gym uniforms that you Just saying.
Well, you guys didn't earn any style points for your pegged pants and your heel taps either.
Okay, I get it. In spite of all that, those were the good old days.
Yeah, and who could remember the music of those days? Elvis, the Everly Brothers, Bobby Darin, and Paul Anka.
Yeah, and what about shagging out at the city lake and all those open house parties that we had at different people's homes?
Seems like I remember that lake was where you and that color girl hooked up out there dancing on Tuesday and Saturday nights.
Emmy Lou, your memories are right on.
And all these classmates have come back here to reconnect and remember those good old days too. Wait a minute. Isn't that Dinah Nibblink over there? She was always making us laugh, usually at the wrong time. And there's Joyce Groom and Ann Pritchett, two of the original splatters. And Lordy, there's Jim Fuller. You know, he could have crawled up to his front door, drunk as a skunk, and his sweet mama would have sworn someone had held him down and poured that nasty And there are those two Lindas, you know, Linda Watts and Linda Evans. Lordy, who let them in here anyway? They are disgusting. They look like they just walked out of the high school yesterday. I don't know how they got here. And over there's Mary Womack. She was our brainy one. She was always writing those poems. And there's Jimmy Hitchcock. He was Miss Staley's favorite, the one with the golden voice. And bless my heart, isn't that Carol Simeon sitting over there, our head cheerleader? You know, I still remember those cheerleader tryouts. They were the most traumatic event of my life. I still think I was better than Carolyn Martin. I'm just saying. And gosh, there's Harriet Austin. I think she was Miss FFA or something. She lived out there on Lindale Farm. Wow, I remember more people than I thought, Harry. Well, I've got to go now. We've got some dancing to do tonight. You know, it takes me a little longer these days to get presentable. I hate to admit it, but I'm wrinkled, saggy, and bumpy, and that's just my left leg. You know what's good, though? I found at my age, going braless pulls all the wrinkles right out of my face. That's not all bad. You know, when you get to be our age, you can stand in front of the mirror and see your rear end without having to turn around. Come to think of it, I did join Health Club here last year. Spent about $400. Haven't lost a pound.
Is that so?
Yeah, apparently you have to go there. You know what? If God had wanted me to touch my toes, he would have put them on my knees. And another thing. Ladies, have you noticed the growth of the hair on our legs has been slowing down lately? Good thing, too. That gives us plenty of time to care for our newly acquired mustaches. Seriously, at least we know the men still check out our boobs every now and then. Only thing is they have to get on their knees to do it. But the best thing is, at least we found out we can have a healthy sex life well into our later years.
Really?
Of course, that's assuming you can stand the sight of somebody our age naked. You know, I guess that's about it for the jokes. We've got things to do.
Like what?
Games, silly.
Games?
Sure, they're all the rage of the seniors these days. There's Sag Your It, or Pin the Toupee on the Ball Guy. 20 questions whispered in your good ear. Red Rover, the nurse says bend over. There's Kick the Bucket, and the favorite one of all, Hide and Go Pee.
Emmy Lou, you need to go. Say goodbye to your classmates.
Bye-bye, everyone. Hope you enjoy this weekend as much as I'm going to.